Gary Drayton, the iconic metal detector on the Curse of Oak Island, has disappeared from the show for almost 200 episodes. His name disappeared from the credits, leaving his daughter Katya to take over the role. Katya, who has been metal detecting since she was 7, has been tagging along with her dad since she was 7 and knows her way around a dig site. However, the timing of this switch-up was not subtle, as it played out like a script. Gary's disappearance from the show was not just background noise, but also a deliberate move. He had a massive presence, appearing in 170 episodes out of 236. Fans were left wondering where he was, if he was taking over, and why the silence. The network kept its mouth shut, not even offering a vague assurance. Instead, they kept their mouths shut. Oak Island fans are familiar with the crew and follow every dig, beep, and false alarm. Pulling a fast one on them is risky, and viewers return not just for mysterious tunnels and lost treasures, but for the people swinging the picks. The show is the most watched on the History Channel, and despite the fact that the show is the most watched on the History Channel, there are many eyes that notice when something's off. The Gary-Katya switch-up was not subtle, but it played out like a script. Dad steps out, Katya steps in, no mention or context. It was a seamless transition, but viewers noticed and started talking. The timing was everything. It wasn't just about the artifact, but the message: Katya can carry the legacy. The production's way of injecting fresh energy was subtle, wrapped in a family-friendly bow. It kept the Drayton name on the roster while quietly shifting gears. The iron shard she found might be real or relevant, but it was the timing that was everything. The message was that Katya can carry the legacy. When a longtime face goes missing without a whisper, fans notice and start forming theories. Every theory gets airtime when no one provides the truth. The network, acting like everything's normal, does nothing to feed the curiosity, which only makes things worse. Silence turns into fuel for speculation, frustration, and gossip. The lack of transparency in the show, especially when the drama is real and behind the scenes, sticks out. For example, watching a favorite sports team without a star player just disappearing one day without an announcement or injury report. This feeling is what happens when the star player just doesn't show up one day. In conclusion, the absence of Gary Drayton from the Curse of Oak Island has left fans questioning the show's continuity and the impact of his absence. The silence and lack of transparency have left viewers questioning the show's commitment to its legacy and the impact of its absence on the show. The show The Silence Is Loud Now has been a long-standing mystery show that has built its reputation on mysteries. However, turning one of its own cast members into a mystery is a new twist that fans are not enjoying. The show has built its reputation on mysteries, but turning one of its own cast members into a mystery is not the kind fans are enjoying. Gary Drayton's sudden fade-out hangs in the air like unfinished business. No wrap-up and no closure. Just silence. Even if that happens, the loyal fans will not forget the vanishing act and the silence. They will remember how a key piece of the crew went missing while the cameras kept rolling. For now, the Oak Island dig continues, with theories pile up and the treasures remain elusive. Gary Drayton has become part of the mystery he helped uncover, not buried under centuries of dirt, but hidden behind unanswered questions and quiet production choices. His last official appearance aired on January 21st, 2025. That was episode 9. Since then, not a trace. Her find happened around that same time. Coincidence, maybe? Or maybe the story is still unfolding off-camera. Whether Gary has gone for good, taking a break, or setting up a big return, one thing is certain: his absence was noticed. And until someone speaks up, that silence will keep echoing louder than any metal detector beep ever could. Just when Gary starts fading into the background, his daughter Katya Drayton steps up. She literally walks onto the island with a metal detector and starts hunting treasure like it's just another Saturday morning errand. She finds old iron scraps buried in the sand like she's been doing this forever. This isn't a rookie stepping into the big leagues. This is a seasoned understudy making her debut. That changes everything. It doesn't just feel like a one-off guest appearance, it smells like a test run. Television thrives on smooth transitions. Producers don't want drama unless it's on camera. Behind the scenes, they like things clean. Introducing a new face with an old name checks all the boxes. Introducing a new face with an old name brings continuity, familiarity, and fresh energy. She's not some stranger. She's Gary's daughter. That makes her legacy and a perfect bridge between old and new. The question people are asking isn't just, where's Gary? But why now? Why this season? Why this timing? Why introduce her now unless something bigger is happening? That's where the speculation starts. Gary hasn't made a public statement. There's been no official announcement, just silence. Still, the show goes on, digs continue, finds happen, and Gary Drayton keeps showing up. She's building her own story, standing next to seasoned diggers and finding her place, rhythm, and voice. Every beep of her detector signals not just to buried artifacts, but to her future on the island. Producers don't highlight that stuff by accident. When the camera slows down for someone new, they're betting on them. If producers wanted to test the waters, they've done it with a light touch. And judging by the reaction online, viewers are paying attention. The Curse of Oak Island is a show that has been a source of excitement and suspense for fans since its inception. The show's creator, Gary Drayton, has been a key figure in the show's evolution, bringing a younger voice, a new perspective, and a different kind of curiosity to the show. Drayton's presence has brought momentum to the show, as it now focuses on the show rather than the treasure. In the early seasons, Drayton was front and center, storming through the dirt with his metal detector, squealing over every piece of iron like it was a pirate's crown jewel. People bought it because it felt somewhat real. There were maps, old legends, and tunnels that could collapse any second. It was half history class, half Indiana Jones cosplay. But then came the shift. Fewer actual digs, more talky moments, less science, more spooky music, and slow-mo shots of guys nodding at each other. It stopped being about the treasure and started being about the show. There's talk that the show wanted more drama and less dirty work. The producers started cutting out the long days of actual searching in favor of moments that could be teased in a trailer. If his role didn't fit that mold anymore, maybe he got quietly phased out. There's also the idea that the treasure, if it ever existed, was already snagged ages ago. A growing number of fans think the real gold vanished long before cameras showed up, and all that's left is a pit full of reruns. The producers say the show's all legit, unscripted, and real, but when editing a week of digging into 40 minutes of prime time, there's bound to be a bit of trimming, a few overreactions, and maybe a staged scene or two. And when Drayton is gone, fans notice they miss the old vibes and the real excitement of maybe uncovering something important. Without him, it's just flatter. Oak Island is still on air, still teasing that next big find, but the more they promise, the less they seem to deliver. Maybe his disappearing is just a symptom of something bigger, that the show isn't what it used to be and maybe never really was, or maybe, just maybe, Gary Drayton was the last bit of reality the show had left. If the answers aren't buried on Oak Island, they're probably buried under layers of editing, contracts, and camera angles. But here's the truth fans are starting to see. When even the treasure hunter stops showing up, it might be time to stop digging. The original magic of The Curse of Oak Island wasn't in its cinematics or suspense, it was in the raw drive. The show changed gears as seasons dragged on, with production getting slicker, storylines getting tighter, and the budget probably getting fatter too. Viewers kept tuning in hoping for a big moment, and the show kept giving them endless teases. It's possible that the producers wanted more moments, the kind you can meme, clip, trailer, the kind you can meme, clip, and trailer, the kind you can meme, clip, trailer. He gave them rust and enthusiasm.